Well, we're back again because you drama goblins asked for a part 3 of the worst zombies community scandals, and it's only fitting to start with me before we talk about anybody else. So around Christmas of 2019, I was playing some zombies and went to check my emails. I saw a new one from a game company looking to sponsor a video, and without even thinking about it, I clicked on the attachment that supposedly contained the game before entirely forgetting about the email. A few days later, I wake up to my YouTube password being changed and the channel's ownership being transferred to somebody else. That email actually gave me malware, and nowadays, this is super common. You probably watched someone who's had this happen before, but back then, this was actually brand new. Obviously, I panicked, so I tweeted out and I contacted whoever I could to get access back to my channel. Apparently, while I was doing this, my channel was then sold to someone who began live streaming the inside of a Vietnamese sweatshop. Just people making t-shirts and stuff with a phone camera set up next to somebody. This was actually so weird that the mystery subreddit launched an investigation into my channel. But eventually, after getting some help from Archie, who now works for Ludwig, he referred me to Grande, and basically he gave YouTube all of my information and I got my channel back pretty quickly. The worst part of all of this was that the email that started everything came from an account named David Manager, so obviously I got memed to shit because of how dumb I was. So with the mild stuff done, let's get weird. Mr. T-Lexify used to have a long-term editor for his channel called The Don. Because he was always in Lex's Twitch chat, he had a Twitter account, and generally became a big part of Lex's community, he kind of became popular himself. That's why it was a little weird when he randomly tweeted women aren't funny, which is just, kind of odd. In the replies, he just kept doubling down and it kind of became clear that he wasn't actually joking, and in the arguing, the Don retreated to his Discord server where he posted a screenshot making fun of trans suicide statistics. When that got posted and he got called out for that, he just kept on memeing the entire situation. He even went far enough to use his mod status in Lex's Discord server to basically announce that Lex doesn't give a fuck about any of his audience or what you think, and he's just about the money. Then right after that, he locked down the server, which is definitely one of the boldest decisions I think you could make. Eventually, after Lex, talking with a couple of people, he did tweet out that the Don was no longer going to be working for him. Now, this actually turned out to be later contested by Lex's other editors who claimed that Lex never removed him until months later when the Don began making Ukraine jokes, and since that's something close to Lex, he removed him at that point. Then the Don went rogue on everybody. I was live streaming and he began to weaponize his Discord and his group of loyal followers, and he put in his Discord to go raid my stream, and once they got banned, they went into my Discord server where they once again got banned. But after a good week or so, he quieted down, and just to lighten things up a little bit, let me end it on a funny note. The Don claimed that he didn't even need the editing money from Lex because he supposedly made so much money from Dogecoin that he would never need to work again. I doubt the shit out of that, but good luck with your Dogecoin fortune, bud. And a lot of the content that this weirdo edited turned out to be reaction content, which is probably one of the longest standing community issues out there. It's become extremely common for guys like NoahJ456 and Lex to find content that was made by people in the zombies community and make videos reacting to it. NoahJ's is more of him watching a speedrun or a high round with a little bit of information and trying to learn about it as the video goes along. Lex's reactions are mostly clips put together from his Twitch stream where he reacts to just about anything zombies related that gets sent to him. So the controversy begins because to a lot of people, this stuff is seen as extremely low effort. You're profiting off of doing literally no research to watch a video. The only value you're adding is the somewhat frequent laugh or reaction or statement about what you're seeing. It's so much easier than doing any other type of content than you can make. A lot of people dislike it for that. It's lazy, unoriginal content, and a large group of zombies fans are very vocal in their hatred for it. Because they are somewhat right. The people being reacted to really only gain maybe 50 to 100 subscribers from their video being showcased, and personally I have experience with that and I can say that that's accurate. That might seem like a lot to somebody who only has a couple hundred subscribers, but it's really not that simple because most of those subscribers then don't come back to watch your content, so it actually kind of hurts you in the long run. When you post a new video and YouTube sees that those new viewers aren't coming back to watch it, it's actually going to push your video down and you're not going to get nearly as many views. And it's because those subscribers only came over because you made one good video and the real favorite YouTuber asked them to do it. On the flip side of things though, some smaller creators actually like being reacted to because they see it as an honor to be shown on a big YouTuber's channel. Not everyone is out to make it big on YouTube, so them being shown on Lex, Noah, or whoever else's channel is kind of a big achievement to them. I've made my feelings somewhat clear on this before about reacting to my content, and I got absolutely shat on by the comments. About 6 months ago, I became the first person to reach round 100 with 0 kills in a Black Ops 3 Zombies game, and in this video I knew it was a really cool thing that might end up getting reacted to, so I asked not to react to it. Just from me asking that, I got told to kill myself, that I wasn't grateful for the growth that I would be getting from being reacted to, and about 50 other things that would get this video in trouble with Poppy YouTube. All of that just for asking to not use my content, so it shows that there's toxic ass people on both sides of this whole thing, and I really don't think we're even anywhere close to a resolution. I personally think it's slowly degrading the quality of zombies content at the top of the community. If the guys over 100,000 or especially 1 million subscribers aren't innovating, then new people aren't seeing zombies content and it just doesn't grow the space. Especially because reaction content across YouTube is kind of seen as the lowest effort trash you can possibly make. If you come across someone's channel that has 3 million subscribers and it's just reacting to stuff, then you're gonna think that the smaller guys aren't doing any better. Speaking of not growing the zombies community, can we just fucking stop lying about Zombies Chronicles 2? It's been a meme basically since the day that the original came out that YouTubers make clickbait videos about a second one coming soon every single week. I believe this all started with Black Ops 4, where some people put the puzzle together that in Blackout you had a lot of zombies assets: the Transit Diner, all of Buried, Verrückt, and the Call of the Dead Lighthouse. Then there's the 5 remastered called Classified that we did get in Zombies, and the Mob of the Dead remaster, so some geniuses thought that because all this is there, that means that Zombies Chronicles 2 is coming as a year 2 for Black Ops 4. Which, if you ever paid attention, that never happened. Then the rumor changed to it being cancelled because the second year of content for Black Ops 4 got scrapped altogether. Next is a rumor that there's going to be a standalone Zombies game coming in 2020 because Activision's lost faith in Treyarch to make a full Call of Duty game. Oh well, suddenly that gets cancelled, so now we're back to somehow someone starting a rumor that Chronicles 2 is actually coming to Black Ops 3, which is literally never going to happen. After that is now Chronicles 2 is coming to Cold War because Vanguard flopped super hard and they need to make up the money. 6 months later we're back to a standalone Zombies game coming in 2023 because Sledgehammer doesn't have a game prepared in time. And now we're back to Chronicles 2 coming as part of a Black Ops 2 remaster in 2025. And in case you haven't noticed yet, we haven't fucking had a Zombies Chronicles 2. All these supposed leaks from Treyarch have been bullshit, top down, and it's just thirsty, desperate YouTubers hoping that the title and thumbnail for their video is good enough for you to click on it. It's the get me out of jail free card if your channel is dying and you really need a video to get a 2 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. Because they know that the information is wrong 99.8% of the time, but who needs to make honest content when you could just lie to your audience and pump up the 15th totally confirmed 100% legit leak? Thankfully people other than me have kind of grown tired of this because it's really starting to affect reputations nowadays. Speaking of reputations, maybe you've realized by my tone here, but it's that time again. So if you've ever heard of Newby, he's been around a long time and he's been a YouTuber, Easter egg hunter, and worked on the Zombies World Championships in that time. A couple years ago, it started to come out that Newby was acting a little bit weird towards women in the community. He was messaging a woman on Discord and trying to flirt with them, but they were in a relationship and they're also only interested in women, so of course she was not interested in him. So he made an alternate Discord account pretending to be his friend and went to message her. He started saying that she could flirt with him because he would pay her to do it and he's got lots of money. Clearly she saw right through this though and still wasn't interested, but Newby would also try flirting with other girls, one of which was a little bit underage at the time. I'm also not entirely sure if he knew about that, but I'm just kind of putting it out there. He also tried to commission some fan art that was so strange that the artist literally would not do it. In total, about 10 women came forward, which is basically every woman in this community to say at some point Newby was just acting really creepy towards them. And it wasn't a situation where he would flirt, get told no, and then back off. He was pretty persistent, and to some women was doing this over the course of a couple of years. I even remember my fiance and I played Fortnite with him one time and he started asking inappropriate questions towards my fiance and we just chose not to talk to him since that was about like 5 years ago. Anyway, so this is where ZWC or the Zombies World Championships comes into all of this. It's a community organized event where there's online qualifiers or different challenges, and then there's an in-person event where the winners are paired up with YouTubers to compete in more challenges live for a pretty large pool of cash. These were the only in-person events Zombies has ever had in our 15 years, so a lot of people who didn't even care about the competition wanted to go so they could see their friends. Newby happened to be an event organizer for ZWC3 who was going to be in attendance, and naturally the question started to be asked if Newby should not be there maybe because we obviously want these events to be safe and comfortable for women, especially in a community where we already have so few women. So after a lot of back and forth behind the scenes with the ZWC organizers, they agreed to remove him because he was using his positions as ZWC organizer and mod in Maiwo's Discord to message these women. A lot of the drama around this came from the fact that a lot of the women involved didn't want to be named publicly, which is totally fair. Newby had and still has a good reputation in this community. That's why some people didn't believe all of this, because he was just straight up lying about all of it in private conversations. So there was a public side to everything that happened, and as I mentioned, a private side where most of the information stayed. This is actually the first time the whole thing's being talked about publicly since it all happened, and after it all died down, Newby actually went inactive for almost a year and posted an apology on Twitter, kind of taking responsibility and saying he'd do better. Well, he eventually took down that post and is still hanging around in the community as if none of that ever happened. I hope he learned his lesson a little bit from what happened, but honestly, who knows. Off of the serious topics now, let's talk about the many fake Easter eggs and steps for the Giant. As a quick recap, in Black Ops 3 the Giant is a Dare Reese remaster, and the only real Easter egg on there is something called the Fly Trap, which is also in the original. But the Gaming Revolution, who somehow always comes up in these videos, sorry Matt, decided to make some spicy clickbait out of it. He wasn't the only one doing this, but it's just simpler to talk about only him. So after Black Ops 3 first came out, views were through the goddamn roof, and TGR decided that, what got a lot of views was speculating about Easter eggs, so that's what he did. In fact, he made 17 videos in the first 25 days of the game releasing about the Giant Easter eggs. Some of them were real legit, like showing off the secret song that you can unlock, but others were about supposed secret rooms and just weird shit. I clicked on one of these videos with 1.5 million views, and in the first 30 seconds, TGR is confirming that there's a whole main Easter egg quest that hasn't been solved yet. Some of these supposed steps were turning off the teleporters, the sky turning red, and some other steps that he keeps talking about but never actually says what any of them are. Then the video gets to the main topic, which is showing off a black box outside of the map using a theater mode glitch, and speculates how that could be a place where the boss fight takes place for this main Easter egg. Well, that box that he's talking about is literally the area that your character goes to mid-teleporting. That's it, there's really nothing special about it at all. Then there's another video he made which is actually kind of interesting. It talks about an achievement which ended up being cut from Black Ops 3 called Playing for Keeps. This only appears in the official strategy guide that came with the Black Ops 3 Collector's Edition, and the description for it only says help the others. I've actually never heard of this before, so that's kind of cool to find out, but you basically can't find any information about this online even today. So obviously TGR took this and ran with it, turning it into an Easter egg ending theory for the Giant that has over 500,000 views. Just going back to the achievement though, how strange is it that it's in the strategy guide but got cut from the final game? That must have been a really late scratch. Going back to TGR, this last video actually involves Codename Pizza. They both made a video about the killing time gobblegum that stops time in your game for 20 seconds. Apparently, the third step for this supposed main quest Easter egg that does not exist is to upgrade the ray gun, pop a killing time to stop time, and then shoot this clock outside of the map for 20 seconds. Nothing actually happens when you finish this. The ray gun animation sound plays, but just there's nothing else to it. What the fuck? And this has 220,000 views. It's like, what is going on? Obviously, because of all this, TGR was making a fuck ton of money at the time, but it also tanked his credibility within the zombies community. I would say that for a time, TGR was the most hated zombies YouTuber maybe ever, which is a shame because TGR over the last couple of years has become a well-rounded and really introspective person. He doesn't make content like this anymore, and to my knowledge actually kind of deeply regrets a lot of the stuff that he used to do and the way that he just made YouTube videos in the past, but people mostly know him for stuff like that, and the videos that he made that were flat out lies. But I guess it's easier for people to talk about the fake Zombies Chronicles 2 leaks than it is to try and create entire fake Easter eggs, so you know what, hey, what do I know? If you want to hear about how the most iconic world record in zombies history was faked, then click the video coming up on the screen right now. Thank you for watching, love you, bye-bye.